But let's get to the big one first. So, our Frenchie isn't going to be playing with us this year.
No, so he's staying back in France.
He's so he's staying in Europe.
Yeah.
He's so Alex Texier won't be with the Blue Jackets this year. He, you know, signed up or signed up. He is going through the like behavioral program and the player assistance program,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with some more personal demons. We know last year he only played in what, like 30 something games? Not even 30 games?
Yeah, it was 30 something games. And I want to say, if I remember correctly, it was a combination of he got hurt.
He broke
And
like his thumb. Yeah.
while he was hurt, something happened with his family
Yes.
and he left.
So it was a combination of injury and personal leave.
Right.
And he just didn't end up coming back. And it looks like he is still dealing with some of these demons. A lot of the grief, it might have been, we don't know if it was like a passing in his family or what it was. We're not going to speculate.
Yeah, you never know what it is. And like you said, we're not going to speculate because it could be anything. And all we know is it seems to be family related.
Yes. It seems to, at the very least, be family related.
And I always err on the side. I know these guys are players that we root for and we want them to be on the ice because they give us the best chance of winning and whatnot, but family comes first.
Oh yeah, I mean, we dealt with that, through multiple players last year with Patrick Laine losing his father. And
yeah, and he was also injured when that happened. So you never know whether you're healthy, whether you're injured. Family comes first,
right?
And I always encourage players to keep that in mind and to lead with that.
I think fans need to keep that in mind more as well. And
because and I don't want to like throw the whole fan base under the bus.
No.
Very like the majority of the fan base has been gracious through it from what I've seen on social media, supporting Alex and whatever he's going through. But of course, as all fan base have, the few dumbasses who
the pockets, yes,
who prioritize the team's success over the fact that these guys are human beings,
right,
and don't understand what they go through.
Yes. So in terms of the production lost, it's really not much. He's Texier last year. I don't have his stats from last year pulled up.
Played pretty well.
But he played, let me see, unless you can get it first.
So last year he played 36 games, had 11 goals, 9 assists for 20 points.
20 points in 36 games isn't bad. Out of like a middle six winger.
I mean, if he prolongs that over an 82 game season, that's about 45 points.
That's decent production out of your middle six.
That's solid middle six production that the Blue Jackets could use. You can, no team in the National Hockey League is going to say no to 45 points from a young winger who's making less than $2 million.
Right.
Middle six. That's production that any team could use. And if you think about the goal scoring production, that would have been 25 goals.
Would have been 25 goals, a few fun, a couple fun shootout winners, maybe.
Yeah, a couple fun French pokes.
Seriously, people, if you have not seen the patented French poke from Alexandre Texier, this kid is one-handed shootout magic.
Yeah, he's a fun spark plug for the team, it seems like, because he's got so much talent.
He had that really awesome like rush where he like skipped over a player. He like literally had to leap over a guy in the playoffs against Tampa a couple of years ago.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember that.
I can't remember whether it was the bubble playoff or the one afterwards, but like he literally had to like jump over a guy who was sliding down.
He had the big the power play goal to start things off in game 4.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some moments with this team. You know, we've seen he's now played in 3 total seasons for us.
Right.
First season 36 games, next season 49 games, last year 36 games. So hasn't been consistently in the lineup, but you can attribute that to one, he was a really young guy coming into the National Hockey League, and he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
part of the plans initially to start every game. And then you have the shortened season
Right.
for COVID, and then last year you have the injury, and then obviously the personal stuff that's going on. So far in his NHL career, 22 goals, 27 assists for 49 points in 123 games. You know, that's he's a young kid. He's still what, 20, 22? Yeah, he's
Oh
20,
yeah, he's got plenty of time
turns
to
23 in 10 days.
right, right.
So that's a guy who's still got a lot of potential, but in order to, achieve that potential, Jake, you got to be in the right mindset and
You
the
got to
best.
be in the mindset. You have to like just be able to focus,
Yeah.
and he hasn't been able to focus. For one
Yeah.
thing, he's been hurt, and for
Hmm.
whatever else is going on in his life,
And,
he hasn't been able to focus on hockey.
and I'd like to remind people, because I said this to my buddy Justin, who's started to get into the Blue Jackets as a newer fan, and he likes Texier because one, he just loves the fact that he's French and he has a cool name,
Well,
and two,
it's
because
fun
of the
too because
shootout.
like he's one of what, like 3 players like strictly from France in the
You
NHL,
got Roussel and Belmar, and
and
that's
Tex, and that's
about
pretty
it.
much it, right?
Yeah. So uh, so he was bummed that he wasn't going to be playing, and I just told him, I'm like, you know why I know this is the right move for him, because he says it's the right move for him.
Yes,
Nobody knows what's best for Alexandre Texier better than
Alex
Alexandre
Texier.
Texier.
Like,
I trust. I know he's a young kid. He's only 22 years old.
and
I'm
he
old,
still
but
he still is going to play hockey this year. He
yeah,
signed a 1-year deal with the Zurich Lions.
yeah. So he's closer to home. It seems like a good fit for him, and I'm trusting him in that he believes this is best for him. So I think it's best for him,
Gets to
and I
play
wish him
where
the
Austin
best of luck.
Matthews played.
True, true. But yeah, I'm wishing him the
um,
best of luck. I
yeah.
think this will be good for him, and I hope we see him back with the Blue Jackets sooner rather than later. But even if he doesn't ever come back to the Blue Jackets or anything that happens, I still wish him the best of
Well,
luck.
they
He's good.
still hold his rights.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that with whatever's going on this year, he's going to take this year. He's going to play in Switzerland, which obviously it's not France. It's close enough,
It is, yeah.
but he's closer to home. He's going to deal with his demons, whatever's going on. And I have a feeling he'll be back.
I certainly hope he is. I think he will be, but on the off
Or
chance that he's not,
there
you
is a
know,
chance, but at the same time, like I'm hopeful that he'll be back for 23, 24.
yeah, me.
Because like he's young enough, and I'm sure he wants to continue his dream of playing in the National Hockey League.
So his hometown, uh, to Zurich
Mm-hmm.
is a 4 hour and 14-minute drive.
Oh, that's really not that bad.
So yeah, I'd have to imagine what planes probably like hour 15, maybe hour and a half.
Yeah.
So like that's not terribly bad for distance.
I mean, from like from
I mean, what is
around
that? That drives basically Columbus to Buffalo.
Columbus to Toronto is like an hour and a half flight.
Yeah,
So it's about the same.
yeah, it's that's really not that bad in terms of distance. So I think that's a good fit for him, and I'm sure that plays a big factor in why he chose to go to the Zerk Lions.
Oh yeah, like playing with a team that's like that close, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah. As far as the actual Blue Jackets roster goes, you're missing a decent third line option.
Yeah.
A really young guy, but
Mhm.
we discussed in a previous episode, I want to say an episode or two ago, the projected lineup, right?
Mhm.
And this gives a potential other young guy like a Kent Johnson
Mhm.
a big opportunity. It could give a Yegor Chinakhov an opportunity.
That's the thing is every single injury or guy who leaves for personal reasons, or even if it's just a suspension, every single time a player will not be in your lineup
Mm-hmm.
is an opportunity for someone else.
Right.
And what this does for the Blue Jackets, that's actually a little bit of a positive. Is the first positive is Texier is going to get the help that he needs with whatever
Yes,
it is,
of course.
which is
He gets his mind right.
Mm-hmm. The other positive is from right off the bat, Kent Johnson moves up the line.
Oh yeah,
I have
as
to
long as
imagine
and
Kent
I mean,
Johnson.
there's as of recording this, we're into September. Hockey's coming this month. We got
Mhm.
training camp opening up in what, like a week and a half or so.
I want to say, yeah.
So hopefully here soon, within the next like 2 weeks, we'll go into like preview shows and going up to 2 episodes a week.
Yes.
As soon as we figure out our
I will,
schedule for that.
I will let you know I will not be here next week on
Okay.
set. I will be in Orlando
Oh, fun.
because guess who has their own haunted house down at Universal?
Look at you go, eh?
The Weekend, baby.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, I'm
Get to
excited.
see your boy's haunted house. Nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited. But anyway, get back to the hockey part.
Yes. So without Texier, that's gonna give KJ a lot more opportunity right off the bat.
And I think it's going to be KJ because, when we looked at the projected lineups and everything like that,
KJ was the one that was in there.
he was in there, but he was like on the fourth line.
It was fourth
And I
line
kept
right
telling
wing.
people,
And
I'm
it
like,
was
I
like
get
this,
it. I understand that there's other players who have earned their opportunity, deserve their opportunity, etc. Ain't no fucking way in hell you were putting Kent Johnson on the fourth line. No way.
I mean, like we said when we were talking about it, it's like where else can you fit him with
Mhm.
with the wing depth that there is.
Yeah, and this is what happens now is I think that you're in a position to me, you can actually move him higher up the lineup, not just put him in Texier's role potentially on the third line.
Mm-hmm.
I say you put, because obviously the first line is going to be Gaudreau, Jenner, Line.
Yes.
I think you put Kent Johnson on the second line and you put Gus Nyquist on the
Gus
third.
on the third
Yeah.
could do any combo of Kent and Jack or Kent and Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, Jack Roslovic or Cole Sillinger, you can't go wrong with either of those guys being your center.
Mm-hmm. I think for the second line, they're probably going to go with Roslovic because I think now that you have Johnny Gaudreau to play with Patrick Laine,
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to put Voracek with Roslovic.
Yes, you need a playmaker for Jack, who, like you said,
He's a
is
little bit more of a
source.
volume shooter. So
Yes.
I think that's honestly probably the best fit. And why not put your really young, talented playmaker in Kent Johnson along with Voracek?
Couple of guys to feed Jack, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and Kent's not afraid to shoot the puck either.
I mean, he scored the goal.
Shots on goal.
He led the tournament
Yeah,
in shots on goal with 42.
So that's a guy who's a playmaker, but he likes to shoot the puck. I think that fits.
That's definitely a lot. That's a fun option. And then you could put Yegor down there with Cole and see them build more chemistry together.
Yegor, Cole, Marchenko.
Oh,
and then have Robbie play with Sean Corral.
With Sean, like he always does, and then you could
You got speed on your fourth line, a little bit of skill on your fourth line,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
you have
that definitely allows you to roll 4 scoring lines.